Around the world without flying, day 21. I woke up to this gorgeous view in a Libyan town in the Sahara Desert. After failing yesterday to cross the border into Tunisia, today, well, I'm just trying again. A local was very kind to drive me to the border in this breathtaking area. The Libyan side is run by a local militia group, and I was facing a ton of uncertainty over passport complications. Plans B and C involved long detours, possibly back to Egypt, so this has to work. And it did. Persistence paid off. Hello Tunisia, bonjour. First thing I did was to declare any cash I had, as Tunisia used a so-called closed currency system. The good news is that a border police officer very kindly drove me to the closest town, from where I can get a bus. The bad news is that I had to wait 5 hours for it. No problem for me though, I'm just happy to be here. For lunch I had a popular local fast food called Magluba, and by the time the bus came, it was a whole crowd waiting for it, and literally fighting for seats. I myself sat on the floor for the 3-hour journey to a random city, where I asked around and shopped for a hotel room, and eventually settled on this one for $15 a night. Around the world without flying, days 22 to 29. Tunisia has been nothing but smooth sailing and hassle-free part of the journey. I first went to Matmata, where people carved their homes deep underground to escape from the desert heat, and is also the location used for Luke Skywalker's home planet. This rural region is just filled with wonderful villages and scenery. Then I got on a shared van, which is the most common mode of transport here, to El Gem. And what a gem it is, as its Roman amphitheater is the 3rd largest in the world. Once the stage for gladiators, now one of Africa's most impressive ruins. Then I passed by the city of Qayrawan, one of the holiest cities in Islam, as it's the first Islamic city in North Africa. A place of ancient mosques and quiet streets, especially in its old town. Then came an abrupt pause as I had to rest for a couple of days due to a back injury, before continuing to Susa, where its Medina is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it has been a trading port for almost 3,000 years. And finally came the capital, Tunis, with its antique architecture in the old town, vibrant markets, cafe culture, secret rooftops, Roman ruins, and a charming blue and white hilltop village overlooking the Mediterranean. Thank you Tunisia, merci beaucoup. Next up, crossing to Algeria. Around the world without flying, day 31. So far after Egypt, I've crossed Libya and Tunisia, and now it's border crossing day to Algeria. I woke up in a simple room overlooking the main train station in Tunisia's capital. I grabbed a sweet pastry breakfast on the way, then took a taxi to the shared van station, where the guy drove me in a big circle, thinking I wouldn't notice. Well, in any case, I didn't let that ruin my morning. Upon arriving, I asked around for the one going closest to the Algerian border. I got snacks and water, and we waited about half an hour for it to fill up. Then, we were off. I had a front row seat, so buckle up. Oh wait, there's no buckle for the seatbelt to go in. Okay, never mind. On the 3-hour drive, you could really see the gradual change of scenery to green hills, until we arrived to the last village, where I got a snack, then hopped on a taxi for the last 20 minutes to the border. Nice. Algeria, here I come. Or maybe not. I was actually refused to cross. Both sides insisted that I cannot change passports from one country to the other, which was needed in my specific case. The only time I remember where being a dual citizen actually came at a disadvantage. So I started backtracking, and even though most of the vans and buses to the capital stopped operating, luckily I found other connections that would eventually get me there. Thinking all the way about a potential plan B, a boat to either Italy or France, so I can continue going west. Stay tuned. Oh, and I made a new friend on the ride back, ending the day on a high. Around the world without flying, day 35. After being denied to Algeria, today I'm leaving Mama Africa. I woke up at 6 a.m. in Tunisia's capital, and took a tram, then a bus, and while everyone was going to work, I was dropped off at the ferry terminal. And while walking towards it, I was picked up by a random stranger who gave me a lift the rest of the way. I waited an hour before clearing customs and immigration. Then I saw it. The ferry that would take me across the Mediterranean to France. And it was massive. 11 floors on this baby. Of course, the first thing I did was go to the terrace and enjoy the last views of Africa. It's crazy to think that the next time I'm aiming to be back on African soil is entering Egypt from the east, after circling the planet. We passed by Africa's northernmost point before I went exploring this massive ship, which has a rooftop cafeteria, multiple restaurants, and even a cinema. I, however, went to go for a nap in 3rd class. We don't have beds, so everyone is just sleeping wherever they want and however they want. It's a 26-hour ferry, so better get comfortable with that. I got my leg room sleeping space and was absolutely happy with it. And even sleeping on the floor helped alleviate the back pain I had. 3 hours later, my stomach woke me up, so I had dinner at an overpriced self-serve restaurant. Before heading to the terrace again as we were brushing off the coast of Italy. And with that, I went back to my little sleeping corner.